time is nigh. Open up your eyes to see the signs of the time. Got to be wise to all of their lives. Look to the sky from where my help comes. Wake up, got to wake up from the slumber. Don't let them pull you under. Rise up of the water. Never let them wrestle you into the mud.
Yes, yes. We live, yes. Greetings in the name of His and Her Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I, Empress Reserve Menet. Yes, family, one perfect balance. Greetings and welcome to Politically Incorrect, where we get it correct, and if we're not correct, feel free to correct us. It's another manic Monday, a money-making Monday, and we have a question for tonight. Did the DLP have a coup d'etat? One, if so, who's behind it, and what happens next? That's a big question. Also, I got a message from Santia Bradshaw for the nation, but we actually have a message for Santia Bradshaw and the nation as well. So we're going to touch on that as well. And also, man, y'all see the work they're doing on the highway in terms of the power washing on the highway, the dividers. Did y'all see that? We're going to touch on that a little bit too. And I'll tell you why we're going to touch on it, because like I'm just thankful for cricket, because if not for cricket, that probably would not have been gotten clean to look the way it looked. I mean, really. But more importantly, how much would that cost? How much would that cost? I mean, it's just a question. And who's in charge of that? MTW? If it's MTW in charge of that, that would be Santia, wouldn't it? I wonder how the tenders went for that, because I would have been more than happy to go and help out. I mean, I wish I had known, help make Barbados, let's make Barbados beautiful. It would have been good to know. But anyhow, all these works given way, and I don't know. I see people painting, I see people doing this, doing that, and I can't figure out how I can get a job. I can't get no type of work at all. What really going on? These are secret tenders or what? I don't have a clue. But anyhow, you know who did you know what with you know who to get you know what, but that's gonna keep that between me and you. I thought I was saying doubles. Oh, that's some shady stuff, boy. That's some inside joke, though. But check it out, family. Go tell a friend to tell a friend. It's gonna be that kind of night. It's gonna be that kind of night. Did the DLP have a coup d'etat? I wish I could get Steve Blackett on the line, or what's the other guy's name, Ronnie, or one of the other DLP members that was recently sanctioned. They were both sanctioned, the president and the general secretary. I wonder what they would have to say. Can somebody send them the number to the program? In fact, let me put it on the screen. Go tell a friend to tell a friend. Somebody tell a friend to tell a friend. Let's see what happens, man. We're going to open the phone lines tonight to any member of the DLP to tell us what exactly is going on in Barbados. And I have a message for Ralph Torn as well. So if you know Ralphie, go call him and let him know that he has an appointment tonight. Let me just give a shout out real quick. Wait, Noel, you in Barbados? I can't link up with you at all. I got a shirt for you, Noel. What part you at? Can't find you at all. Make sure you give us a call tomorrow, Noel. Send a message and let me see how we can find a way to connect the dots. For sure. Shout out to Fade, by the way. Now seeing your message. Anyhow, family, make sure you like and share this program. I got a call earlier. Somebody told me that they're aware of the other programs. And when they found this program, they were very excited. They love it. They love the fact, that we're sharing and not necessarily doing any cover-ups. But, we share what we can, everybody doing their part. So give thanks to Noel. We see you. Noel said, what? I am back in the U.S. Wait, you kidding me? Wait. Hold on. Noel, what kind of move is that? Man, you tell me you coming to Barbados, we going to link up. I got like 2 messages from you. I ain't never see you. I ain't even see you up to this day. Cheat on, Noel. I ain't get the shirt. What happened, Noel? Well, I ain't understand this, Noel. How you mean you back in the USA? Man, no, Noel. You a diplomat. You come for 2 days and come back out. Who does that, Noel? Anyhow, let us know how we get this to you. I can't believe that at all, Noel. You came here last. How long you were here, Noel? Good night to you, Miss Critchlow. Greetings, Divine. I see you having a continuation of your entry day. I see you. Good night, Mrs. Welch. We see you. Maria got your message. Like it. We need to talk. We have a meeting this week, though, so look forward to that. Tim Ward. Greetings to you too, Tim. Question though, Tim. I see you posing with this helicopter. You a pilot? You could actually fly this thing, cause I know how to push in and push out and the pedal, lean and lean. and dip and pull. You know, I got a little thing too. Watch, I watch that on TikTok, but I don't know how true it is. But let us know if you can fly that helicopter, Tim. That'd be great. Family, peace to all the Maroons in the building for sure. Anika, we see you. We see you. Rose and tongue look, I'm peeing sweet. No, I'm telling you, boy. Thank God for cricket. Sean, I see you too. Nah, you ain't late. You ain't late. You ain't late. I was on the road doing a good service. I came in. I was doing some community work, man, helping somebody in need as per usual. But that's all right. I know y'all understand. Cricket World Cup 2024. Listen, we still paying the bill for 2027. Don't wish this on the people, because quite frankly, it's only fine. We see you, family. No, the DLP is a mess. We going to find out tonight if they had a coup or not. Tell a friend and tell a friend. Go and tell a friend and tell a friend. Like, share, subscribe. Make sure you click the notification bell. Otherwise, I ain't going to tell you. You're not going to find out. Big Pen, I see you in the building. I see you. Grandson, I see you too. I see you. I see you. He said 2 weeks went really. Wait, you were here for 2 weeks, Noel? I find that so hard to believe, man. It can be 2 weeks you were saying we didn't see each other. That's crazy. You tell me he was going on Joe's River, and I didn't see his since. I thought the people had carried away. Not cool, Noel. Not cool, man. Mr. Benjamin, we see you. Crown Heights in the building. Man, wait, Crown Heights in the building. Jackie, I hope you're paying attention. The brother say living in Crown Heights. You're around the corner from the people here. I remember when I used to live in Crown Heights back then, back in the days. Shout out to Brooklyn Avenue, man. Park Place and Nostrand. You know how it is. Daffodil, I see you. I see you, Daffodil. Peace and love, family. Love and light to you too, family. Shout out to Black Lion Security all day, every day. Another 2 weeks again, Noel. Listen, I ain't got nothing to tell you because I ain't understand what move you know make there, big man. But anyhow, okay. I don't have a crew, but I trust in you. But it looks so if you say so. You got skills, man. And so the DLP has lost its way. The mere fact that the old guards, those who were ministers and the former administration, show that the members are not serious, I will predict they will get beat again. Listen, I stay tuned to the night. We're going to touch on that. We are going to touch on this for sure. Keith, we see you, Mr. Kinch, all day, every day. Investigating corrupt politicians. Man, Alex, we see you too. We need our nation back. Listen, I like how that song, but I'm going to change that narrative a bit. We don't need the nation back. The truth is, Barbados never functioned as a nation. We function as citizens, which citizens are servants to the Pope. That's another conversation. But what I would say is we now got to function as people who are part of a nation. So we don't need the nation back. We need to establish our nation and make it clear. Like every other nation in Barbados, we just need to establish ourselves. You said the DLP is a disgrace, man. Don't be so hard on the DLP. And I'll tell you why in a minute. Did the DLP have a coup d'etat? And if so, who's responsible? Y'all do not want to miss tonight. I'm telling y'all. But before we get into that, I did not contract. That's right. That's right. Say it again. I did not contract with neither B nor D. So I don't know what they're talking about. They administrating over who? They're administrating over who don't know. You get it? Who, not who, is you who don't know. Not politically incorrect family. Cheers to the family, though. Ain't nothing strong, by the way. It's strong enough for me. Yo, look. Coup d'etat. Look, I can't believe what happened. Cannot believe it. Smiling butterfly, we see you. We see you. Really see you too. The BLP started the fraud and the DLP helped cover it up. Next, what he was suggesting that the union that was started that became the BLP, that became the DLP, is all in cahoots. We're gonna find out tonight, though. But before we get into all that, I got some stuff I want to show you all. I gotta play this really quick, and I gotta play this. Like I just gotta play this. You cannot make this stuff up. I want to send a message to all my security forces, those involved in the military, those involved in the Red Stripe gang. You know who you are, and all the other folks out here in Barbados that sit on the training, right? Let me ask a question. I just got a question. It's just a question. And a big, but no, I'm not block with your sister right there because she do a lot of work for the visually, the hearing impaired. Let me Let me make sure I position myself properly. But before we go with that though, I just have a question. I want y'all to pay attention really quick. They're doing some work. They said it, they exercises, they got the, on all kinds of ways. Well, this exercising is in how to shoot. This want to be clear. This particular exercise here is showing you how to shoot. This is not a rescue. This is not about paramedics, not about capturing a fallen, injured soldier. This portion right here is about how to shoot. What I want to know is this, out of curiosity. I asked it for a friend. So, in fact, let me just play it real quick. Give me a mic. In fact, give me a sound check, family. How we sound there in TV land, in cyberspace, sorry. How the mic coming through? How it coming through? How it coming through? Give me a little sound check, man. Let me know where you're coming in from too, by the way. If you're here for the first time. You said they got a lot of folks that Keith. All right, I agree, Keith. I am not a member of either party. I said she ain't a member of none of the two. I'm here between you or Meeting and Marcia. So to Marcia and the others put in the work, bringing awareness to the people of Barbados. I sincerely hope everybody pay attention. I'm sure there will be some parties being announced relatively soon. I don't want to say third parties because Barbados have always had third parties. It's just that they have not been successful in the polls since independence. So seriously. Same BLP, DLP, same family, same schoolmate, same church members, etc., etc., etc. Okay, sounds great. Clear. Okay, loud and clear. All right, let me go ahead and play this clip real quick here, Jacqueline.
Paragon Days has been a hive of activity with the various aspects of exercise trade winds. Captain Drake explains that the training is important for the upcoming ICC T20 Men's Cricket World Cup and for other future events hosted in Barbados.
No rat training is one of those important aspects that we need should there have to be a disturbance at a venue or anywhere within the country or within the regional sphere. So that rat training is important, and to ensure that those soldiers and officers who completed the rat training aspect or keep their skills in tip-top condition, we continually have persons training. We go over that training. If you were to go on Paragon Base right now, you'll see some persons carrying out some of those same rat drills with some recruits who have recently joined the Barbados Defense Force. So there's continuity in the training.
He says away from Paragon, other exercises are taking place.
Okay, well, I don't want to go too deep into all the other exercises, but I just want to focus on the riot training. Y'all caught that or y'all didn't caught that? Y'all didn't caught that? I can pull it forward. Let me just go back here again. Let me just go back here. I don't want y'all to miss this. You gotta listen carefully because you see, one thing the devil got to do is he got to tell you first before they do what they do, so that you can never say you did not know. One thing they got to do is tell you. They cannot do it so that you don't know what's going on. Please, family, listen carefully to what this man is saying, and then I'll ask the question afterwards. Please take notice of the targets on these targets practicing drills. Pay attention, family.
Paragon Base has been a hive of activity with the various aspects of exercise trade winds.
I just gonna pause it real quick so we can kind of get a look and see. If I could just zoom in, so you can see who the target practicing, what these young men are being conditioned psychologically to shoot at. Because we may not think this is serious, but hold on a minute, man. Let me spend a minute on this. Forgive me, family. We can get to the DLP in a minute. I want y'all to realize this, right? Psychology is a serious thing. You take these young men who have never killed, never did anything, turn them into killers. You train them to be killers, but you also give them a target to practice what to shoot at. You know, I don't see none of these targets looking like Indians. I don't see none of these targets looking like white people or what we call Caucasians or Europeans. I don't even see targets looking like Chinese. These targets, if you look close enough and pay attention, these is black men, in some cases, wearing a scully, kind of similar to the one I'm wearing, you know, quite frankly. So, I know, let me let you listen to the rest of what the brother says.
Captain Drake explains that the training is important for the upcoming ICC T20 Men's Cricket World Cup and for other future events hosted in Barbados.
The training is necessary for the ICC cricket and other things, activities in Barbados. But it goes on to extend it to the region. Listen carefully.
No, right. Training is one of those important aspects that we need should there have to be a disturbance at a venue or anywhere within the country or within the regional sphere. So that right training is important, and to ensure that those soldiers and officers who completed the right training aspect or keep their skills in tip-top condition.
Riot training and skills are kept in tip-top condition while we're practicing at shooting black targets.
We continually have persons training. We go over that training. If you were to go on Paragon base right now, you'll see some persons carrying out some of those same rat drills with some recruits who have recently joined the Barbados Defense Force. So there's continuity in the training.
He says
there's continuity in the training. I want y'all to understand the psychological effects this is going to have, right? You're teaching young men to be killers, but more importantly, learn who to point the gun at. People that look just like you. And that's what we're training them. We're not teaching them to look at, we're not training them to shoot at any other target. No other target. So to see a target down the road that look different, you respond different. But once it look like you, who's unscared, man. Don't hesitate. Don't hesitate. Because that is basically what's going on, family. That's exactly what's going on. This is, look, these targets has faces. You notice it, right, Alex? Used to be just an all black thing before, which in the black silhouette is still psychologically. But now the black targets has a black face. I want y'all to study this thing real carefully here. Real carefully. Real carefully. They're planning for the riot, but they know who to shoot at. All right. Man, I can say that a little later. I just wanted to play that part, family, because I don't think we understand the magnitude and the implication of what is suggested by this particular, these images, man, because we think this is a game. We think this is a game, man. Let me get to the point where I just want to show the images.
Various aspects of exercise.
Yeah, I just want to get this right here, man. We need to understand the ramifications of this right here. These guys are training, even the new ones. They don't know nothing. You're going to shoot at someone that look like this. So you're comfortable shooting at it because you train all day, every day to shoot at a particular target. Anyhow, having said that, speaking of target and speaking of military and speaking of riot, speaking of, did the DLP have a coup d'etat? Is the question that inquiring minds want to know. Did they have a coup d'etat? Crazy as it is, man. Family, I only want to say is, right, you know, we hearing politically incorrect. We have a different kind of mindset, because the idea is to do for yourself rather than ask the government to do for you. And I see a lot of things happening in Barbados and a lot of energy being placed around Mr. Ralph Torn. And I brought up his name on this platform on many occasions. In fact, one of the things I've also done is suggest that, you know, since you for the people, you know, you go and shout the mama man on the ground, shout the mama bonga lights, do a little video about the mama bonga lights, go and do a video to them downtown. And, you know, I'm sure since you always bigging up the brother, you know, that would be easy. Have a real man-to-man conversation. I could almost hear bonga lights answer some questions, and I could almost see how that will go. And trust that goes well, and you could survive that, and you could come and show politically incorrect. That'd be quite interesting. But I doubt very much that will ever happen. Like, I doubt that will ever happen. In fact, I so doubt that will happen that the DLP, after having a meeting and basically, you know, suspending Mr. Blackett and suspending Mr. Ronnie, both of them in purgatory right now, quite frankly. Here's a question. They got to announce the president at some point. Now, I don't know if they have the meeting tonight, which I suspect they have a meeting tonight or maybe tomorrow, or in not too distant future. I am sure that they're probably going to announce Mr. Thorne as president. I don't know how it works, but if he's the leader of the opposition, I suppose they will make him president. Now, I don't know the constitution of the LP. I'm not in the LP. So I don't know how that goes. I will say this much. If they appoint Mr. Thorne, first of all, did Mr. Thorne sanction this coup d'etat? Because if you think about it, it was a coup d'etat. They went in, they took it by force, they did what they had to do, had their meetings. I don't know if they announced it to everybody or just they had a quorum, enough folks that could pass the vote to get the decision made in the nick of time. Kind of like how they did to Johnny Tudor back then, when he could have been the prime minister at the time, and they kind of put David in it and oust Johnny and that kind of thing. According to what I heard to a birdie, I wonder if he was aware of this, because if Mr. Thorne was aware of this, I've not heard him speak against it up to now. I don't know. Maybe he did, and I hope he did. And if he did, please somebody send me the link. But I got a question. What if they appoint Mr. Thorne now as president? You think Mr. Thorne should take that seat? Give me your comments down below in the box, because type it real quick. Let me know what y'all think. I'm gonna read the comments real quick. If they announce him as president, should he take that seat, considering how it was obtained? Should he? And if he takes that seat, what does that say about him? We complain that Mia Molly is a despot. We keep saying she's a despot, she's a despot, she's a despot. Man, I wonder what they will say about Mr. Ralph Thorne if he takes the position as president of the DLP, knowing that it was a coup d'etat that got him the seat. Not that that's a problem, by the way, but I would like to think that as an individual who came on board claiming to be, humble and whatnot, and only interested in the people, then he could have let the process run. Ronnie don't want to give up the seat. Ronnie would have learned the hard way, unless this is how he was going to learn the hard way. You don't want to give it up. We inform a coup. We're going to take it, and now you're going to get to be the president. You're going to get fired, and my action should bring the party together to make us ready for an election. Mia Motley was really spiteful, right? As spiteful as they claim she is. I suppose she'll call election. Well, it would be difficult to call it right now because a lot of stuff going on. You got crop over, you got cricket coming up, you got crop over coming up. Right after that, you got school coming up, September. So to call it before Christmas, then you got independence coming up, or Republic coming up, or whatever they call it. Then you got Christmas. So there's a lot of events coming up. It might be a little tricky to squeeze it in between anything. It will be brutal to do such a thing, but be a little challenging. But early next year, between now and then, I don't know if the DLP get the act together between now and then. But if they remotely can, which I highly doubt it, and she call election within that time frame, man, I don't know. It looked like it's gonna be problems. Because if they're divided now, those who didn't like what happened to Mr. Blackett and those who like what happened to Mr. Ronnie Yearwood certainly isn't going to side with the co-conspirators, let me put it that way, the cabal, according to Mr. Blackett, the old guards, which is funny because it's like, I don't get it though. It's like, really, this happened in Barbados in 2024? A party had a coup within itself? I don't know if this is the first time in history. Maybe not the first time in history, but it's the first time in Barbados history. I don't know. Because Barrow didn't take over the BLP. Barrow left, took some folks with him and started a whole new program. Technically, I suppose. Perhaps Mr. Thorne will leave as well and say he wants no part of this confusion. Lead the LP on the sidelines and start a party or join one of the other progressive parties or some alliance of some sort. Perhaps that might be the direction they're going in. But regardless of what direction they're going in, Barbados and Barbadians need to be mindful that, you see the old guards, all the old guards are just that, old guards. And to get a new Barbados, what you cannot do is put new wine in old skins. You can't put new wines in old skins. It's the youth that going to inherit today. So that's what we're looking for, to see what happened next. Let me see what the folks are saying. The poster from Marcy Week show is how low can Mamma Mia go? I don't look, man. Same toffee and different mint paper. I ain't touching it, but it's the same thing. It's the truth. It's the same toffee and different mint paper, man. You're right. And as my words, I agree. But actually, they weren't my words. When the elders told me that, elder lady I met that day gave me some knowledge, man. She was giving me the rundown. And she told me that I never heard it before, but I definitely had to run with it. Yep, they're training for us if we step out of line. Listen, they plan to push and push so that we do step out of line. That whole bill, all these new bills, all these things are happening to kind of agitate the people and get them so fired up that they jump out there and do something crazy. Right training jump, the right training jump me, it jump you. Nah, and don't let them fool you, man. They planning. If you want to know who is preparing for a riot, look at who's planning it. They planning for a riot, which means they expect it, which means that they might be the ones who initiated. Noel said, people, please hit the like button. Hit like and subscribe, Noel. That's right. Like and subscribe. Tell a friend and tell a friend. Years ago, the U.S. Marines was doing the same training in Barbados for the Bajan forces. Every time the government acts up and the people are unhappy, we see the same type of news on the news. All that scare tactics. Oh my God, they're training, they're coming for you. Good night to you, Monica. We see you. So the target looked like the person speaking. Ah, come on, man. All they could do is practice. They didn't think they could do, Alex. They didn't think they could do, Alex. Come on, man. There's no questions when you shoot blacks. When you shoot blacks, there are questions when blacks shoot whites. They ain't got no white. They don't got no white targets. They're preparing for something to happen in the Caribbean. You see, the whole thing is when they first took the Caribbean, when they came to the Caribbean and invaded the Caribbean, we got to understand it was an invasion, but they can't invade it the way they did back then. Things are a bit too obvious. They got to do it different. Yep, this is Barbados Task Force ever since BDF, BDS, Barbados Police, the Royal Barbados Police Force ever since. Yes, that's what they've been doing. They said them got family too. Yeah, but they don't think like that. Alex, you're right. BFP is all black. All right, once you study it. You see, it's a game for them, but life and death for us. Facts, man. They said Barbadians, Bajans were never ever known for riots or rioting. What heck next? No. What they know is that Barbados has been the country that is take, and then one day to just flip. So they know it's a possibility at some point it's liable to flip. What they do not want, let me put it this way, what they do not want is for us to become so organized that we become so strong that we can challenge the political establishment on a different level. So what they got to do prior to that, this is art of war strategy. They got to create the problem, which is the fear. Watch people reaction, then bring the solution. So it's better for them to, rather than the people to riot and have control over the riot, it's best for them to initiate a riot with their provocateurs and then have control over that. And during that particular time, see who they could get caught up in such an activity. They know who to look for and who not to look for. They have already proven that. For those who know, 789. Remember 789. One of these days I can play that video on this program. In fact, I just gotta look for it. I do have it. One of these days I'm gonna play that video on this program. The thing is a joke. They know exactly who to come and look for. So understand, you know, stay away from the rat. You all did not learn as yet. Will you all visit him in jail? Nah, man. Nah, man. The RAT. I ain't touching it. Noel say hit the like button if you respect the show. Noel, I give thanks for the support, man. Make sure you tell a friend though. They really gotta like it, Noel, though. I don't mind if they don't like it. I don't mind if they don't like the message. My only question is, did you get the message? Is my thing. You know, did you get the message, man? The DLP are users. They even use their own people. Rat is me as rat inside the DLP, just like MOF. Okay. Okay. Listen, man, I find it hard to accept what I'm hearing because, you know, so Ronnie needs to leave and skin them all out. Tell Ronnie to call Alex Mitchell and get up with Alex, man. If you really about the people and really running and serious about running and the works he doing, hook up with Alex, man. The government removed the homeless people from around the Treasury building. I noticed it. I wonder where they went. Listen, Noel, I noticed that too. But I kind of always question why they were always there in the first place. I felt perhaps they might have been working. I find it strange that a group of people just decide to camp out under the Treasury building, kind of like guarding it from anybody going in. Because the building ain't empty. Just think about it, huh? We don't know what's inside that building. Because not everybody was allowed on every floor. You know, all the old, who knows what's in that building? Yeah, they were camping right there, right by the entrance. Yeah, we know this. So I suspected it was I don't know if they were guarding the place or what. I just always suspected. I thought it was strange that some folks would set up camp there for all this time and nobody said a word. Nobody said a word. I found that strange. Not even the minister for the city looked to relocate them. But now that World Cup coming, they only go on temporarily. You know, just temporarily. God, take this country under your wings and protect the people. Greetings, Mr. Carson Cadogan. Welcome. I don't recognize your name. You should take it. Not sure which particular question he was responding to, but I guess the comment God should take the country on his wing and protect. Yes. Well, God is going to take care of Barbados. We were told recently, and I saw a message going around family about the weather this year, supposed to be really severe and whatnot. And I'll say again this thing, right? You got to recognize that when they start to tell you things like this, it's to put it in your mind so that you generate the energy, create the reality to cause these things to be. I'm of the school where I am of the school of thought that your thoughts manifest reality. That's why there's always a fear tactic. They always come with something to fear. So now they're saying we're going to get 7 hurricanes this year and all going to hit Barbados or some crazy stuff like that. Now, this is what I'm going to say. If the weather turned to be such, whether there is cloud seeding or otherwise, or some generated clouds or whatever else they might do or don't do, what I'm saying, it is wise to look at the ants and be wise. Prepare. Remember the 10 virgins, family. Some were more prepared than the others. I'm not going to say folks are being foolish. All I'm saying is, while we out partying every weekend, while we out fetting every weekend, while we out buying outfits over and over, let me ask a question. Why don't the Indian community bring in a singer from Pakistan, somewhere from Bombay, across by Kensington, and bring the whole Indian community with the whole pillar case and the whole pillar sheet, the blade spread and the fitted, All them jump up, some Bangladesh music or something. Why they don't do that instead? Why the white folks don't bring in some sort of creed or some sort of white band and just have a whole white concert, some heavy metal or some rock or something? Cause you know they don't really listen to reggae. I mean they might quietly, but why they don't do that instead? Why is it that we the only ones partying every weekend, all day, every day? How come? How come? How come? I can't figure that out. It said Mia will not call election now, for she signed for too much money and she will not want to hand over all that money to any other party. Alex, listen to me. Don't buy that. Mia call election now, Mia gonna get reelected. There's no if and a but about it. I will tell you the truth. She will definitely lose a few seats. She will lose a few seats. She will definitely lose the city, most likely. She will definitely lose what he fell named Adrian Ford. I mean, like, don't nobody even know what does he even do? Like, don't nobody even know what he does. Well, a few people know what he does. A lot, well, privately. We won't get into that. Hey, my personal business. That out. I ain't into politics. I still can't believe it. I still got the poster too. Anyhow, put that one aside. Ralph Torn, I don't know if he's gonna get back a seat. So, but then again, that's not a BLP seat. That might just go to the DLP. I don't know what's going on. But there'll be a few seats that she'll lose. They got a few folks that gonna retire. I think Cynthia Ford ain't running again. She ready to retire. So gotta put somebody new in them. So she gonna lose some seats. But she gonna keep a few of the major ones. Enough that she control the ruling majority. DLP might get some seats. A lot of seats might go to a what they call a third party. Here's the problem with the third party in Barbados, though. This is my take on it. We have so many people right now, because what taught me this is in 2018 when I was involved. Yes, I was involved. Shout out to Barbados Sovereignty, by the way. Why I said it because when I was down there registering at the place in Country Road, I observed a lot of things that day. And I realized that there are a lot of people who are not the traditional two parties. Remember, they only featured the BLP, DLP, and I think it was the Alliance in the newspaper. They didn't speak on nobody else really. So there are a lot of individuals who have parties and affiliations. The problem is they are not amalgamated. So it gonna boil down to who are the strong individuals that are in these particular separate parties. Because at this point in Barbados history, with the DLP the way it is, and their folks loyal to the DLP has been split down the middle. Like that was a plan by Mia. You know, Mia, I salute you, man. You're a strategist. That was brilliant. Sending Ralph across there to divide it like that. That was super brilliant. You know, that was super brilliant. Really brilliant. Because when we look at it, I like to think that we was the one to appoint his wife as judge, right? So there's a whole family thing going on here, y'all, and you the one that put him in the minister seat, right? So I know. So there must be a degree of loyalty on his part. I'm just saying. So having said that, it was brilliant. I have a video on how to infiltrate the opposition, and I suspect, you know, this is all part of it. So until I see otherwise, I mean, this is what it is. So Alex, believe you me, she will not lose. She might lose some. I think she's okay with losing some. If she wait too long, she's liable to lose a lot more. In fact, would it be interested, very interested, if these individuals who are organizing these other electoral surface, well, I don't want to call them parties. I even don't like the word party, man. Like I don't even like that word party. Like movement. Let me call them a movement for the time being, if they really are a movement. Can you imagine like we have a coalition government that literally take over Barbados? How would that actually work? Who would be in charge? How would that work and who would be in charge? That's just my question. I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm saying, okay, well, let's discuss how it would happen. Let's not just talk about it as if it's in a, in the sky. Let's be realistic. Let's really talk about it. Can Barbados form a coalition government? Is Barbados ready for a coalition government? Are the people of Barbados ready for such a thing? I bet they are. Bet they are. So, get it together, people. Get it together. Get it together. I know if I was prime minister for a day, they would have me for 1 day and 1 day only. I would only need 1 day though. We do an audit on the BLP and DLP, forensic audit over the last so many years, over the politicians with them offshore accounts and all that other stuff when it got going on. We created a task force, man. Especially a special political task force. That's why they ain't gonna vote for me. Just them hearing that right now, be like, what? We can't put you in there, boy. You mad? You gonna come for me. You got that right. You got that right. But I wouldn't start with you all though. So we don't gotta worry. Y'all will voluntarily give out the money. Y'all after y'all see what we do to the plantocracy. What do you mean by that, Emmanuel? Yeah, like we start with Draxall. We can start with Draxall Estate. Because I'm sure Draxall in England sitting on a lot of money that he's supposed to that's supposed to come forward here. We don't want no more loans. We don't need the loans for the IMF. We don't need the loans for the World Bank. We don't want no more loans. In fact, we're not paying back any more loans either. Tell the World Bank we want to meet in. We're gonna write that off. We're gonna write off them debts. They're gonna give us debt relief. They're gonna write off the debt. Man, look, I ain't gonna put it all up now. Let me stop. So here we're going on. Now, what else happening here? RAF, the LP, delusional, law as a lost party. I understand it will be. Monica says she understands that it will be after World Cup. It can be after World Cup. World Cup is when June. July can't call elections in 1 month. And we got crop over coming up. So way too much logistics got to go in place. It can't be. It wouldn't be up. That's propaganda, man. If I'm wrong, correct me. But like I said, you see, what they don't want is to compete with the merchants and other stuff. A lot of activities about to come up. A lot of money got to be put in place. Logistics and things got to do. So to double it up with something else would be a bit, hectic. The best time is the same thing, the same time last time, early next year, 2025. 2025. But anyhow, I'm a political scientist, so what do I know? Somebody said the 3rd of January. Yes, he's doing more of the past DLP. He takes a seat by all means necessary. They said they know him. The president position was obtained via an election. This is my point. It was an election thing. Now it is a selection thing. But again, I don't know the politics, the BLP or the bylaws or whatnot. So they're doing what they're doing, what they're doing, what they're doing, what they're doing. The question is Barbados paying attention? Because that kind of behavior is crazy. But anyhow, somebody said, no, he shouldn't. And he should start his own party. Others did it before and was successful, e.g. Errol Barrow. I like this. This sounds promising. He might just do that. He might just do that. The plan was to go into the DLP, disturb them, disturb the peace, leave, and start his own party. If he does so now, he would have completely decimated them, leave them scattered, shattered, because what gonna happen now? And then if he forms his own party, he will have to pull individuals from different groups at this point. I'm sure he could pull it together. It'd probably be a lot of DLP people because they will leave with him. So it would be an Errol Barrow all over again. I'm not sure if he would win the election or his seat, but it would be something very similar. It might somehow appear to be a coalition government formed by Ralph Torn. If that is the case, we will see. We will see. He said distractions is how rats play. Focus on the Constitution and the rule of law. Deep, Alex said it's a distraction. So what he said, it's all smoke and mirrors to later hit us with something big. I totally agree. A new Barbados needs fresh, innovative, progressive minds on African mindset more than a colonial mindset. Listen, I voted for you, soldier, all day, every day. All day, every day. Real thing, man. We gotta start looking at this thing real serious. He said, you're saying it was a small civil war amongst the D's? I'm saying it was a civil war amongst the D's, man. They had a civil war. And they ousted the president. The president was ousted. They ousted. So right now it is the military that controlling the DLP, you know. It's the military arm of the DLP. Those individuals that might be more intimidating than the other ones because, listen, man, these men, that situation that night, should be the police calling, should be the ambulance, man. Put on gloves, man. Let the men duke it out like all the time. You want it that bad? Come put on your gloves, man. Go in the back room and close the door. First man to walk out is winner. The first man to run out is loser. The first man to walk out win. The first man to run out would obviously, if he running out, he'll be running for the legs. So it's self-explanatory. How bad you want this position, man? Give you some ice afterwards. Let me get down to business. The media would have never known what happened. Anyhow, maybe I'm too old school. Empty vessels make the most noise. Study that. Ooh, that's deep. That's deep. Well, we'll see what Ralph does next. That's all I can say. We'll see what Ralph does next. Distraction to pay attention. It's a thorn on kamikaze mission. That's how I see it. He knows he's not getting back in politics, so he built the perfect Trojan horse. Now the Dems in trouble on the behest of Thorne and his former boss, allegedly. I like that word, allegedly. I like it, allegedly. He's a former boss, but she might still be the boss. Why understand? Ralph like them rough women, from what I understand. I keep telling you that these politicians got neighbors and don't even know it here. You got neighbors, and your neighbors don't always like you. God bless the neighbors, man. Look, I want to say a special thank you for God bless the neighbors, man. God bless the neighbors. Serious, man. Serious, 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 serious. I remember an interview with Prime Servant had with the reporter, and when the questions if she wasn't concerned about her people raising up, and she was more shocked she didn't contemplate that one, but was surely working on it since then. But guess what? The plan is clear. Trying to donate equipment and they're training. They're training, but that's all right. And Leroy is saying, good night to you, Leroy. In view of the state of the world, all bases need to be covered. I ain't gonna front though, right? Don't get me wrong. Do not get me wrong. I gonna say this, man. When it comes to things in the world happening, they talk terrorists and Al-Qaeda and all this kind of stuff, right? Let me say this, man. We see a lot of these things happening in the Middle East, in Middle East and America and Europe and them kind of places. We tell ourselves it would never happen in the Caribbean. I can tell you this much. If we think for 1 second that these events that happen just randomly out the blue, we are deceiving ourselves here. We are deceiving ourselves. If you look through the corridors of history, what you will be surprised to find out is that a lot of these so-called major attacks that they ever had were coupled most often on the same day of a similar simulation. Now, what's the odds of that? They're having a simulation for something, and it's something they're practicing for happen. They have a simulation for some train something, and on the same day the simulation, something happened. They have a simulation for this and that, and the same day, some tower. So wait a minute. How comes when I'm always practicing for something to happen, and the same thing when I practice for is what happened? Like, come on, man. Come on. We don't have no problems in the Caribbean, and nobody coming in the Caribbean blowing out and doing nothing. If they do, know that they planned it anyhow, and there's nothing that none of us could do about it, because that is what their plan is. So all the pretend for training for this and that. We know it's just that. What they should be training for is how to feed these children in Barbados, how to reduce this ridiculous light bill, get rid of, in fact, get rid of the light bill altogether. The sun is free. The sun is free. The rain falling, that's where the water come from. No part, look, man, as far as they're concerned, no Barbadian citizen should have to pay a light bill or a water bill. Period. We have enough resources and the means to make that a reality. You're getting a lot of the amount when the month come, that's it per household based on the occupants of the household. You go over that, well, you pay the difference. But other than that, you get an allowance, man, and live so you can focus on, so people can really focus on what they got to do in life and focus on healing as a people and as a nation and let righteousness exalt us. We don't got to worry about politicians, everybody trying to cut one another throat for friggin' pennies and crumbs off the table. Sustainability, come on, man. Trying to give Barbados riot water cannons. I remember that. Yep, I remember that. Maria said Facebook trying to cut us off. I don't doubt it, Maria, but if they do, YouTube's up and running. Don't get tapped with it. YouTube family is a different family. I think it's a more mature crowd. I ain't sure. I don't know. But YouTube be doing difference, man. Show it to all the family though, both on YouTube and Facebook, my personal page. I don't think it's on my page right now, but nevertheless. It's a history repeating itself. They're practicing with guns. Our ancestors fought with brains and bodies. All right, only a few of our people ready. Wake up, my people. Wake up. Wake up, my people. Wake up. Noel, that is just wrong, Noel. That is just wrong, Noel. You is just dead wrong. Mia is not a dictator. She is not. Greetings to you too, Monica. We see you, Miss Payne. The energy of fear fuels their wicked intention. That's why I'm telling the people, we can't study. We got to study what we got to do for ourselves and how we going to move forward. How we going to leave Egypt and take our resources and the resources we going to get from them and build our own society. We got to build our own society. It's a reality. We got to build our own community, our own village, our own nation. We put it in the right perspective so that you don't get me wrong. We got to finance and build our own nation, family. They are not going to do it for us. So that's what we got to focus on. This is said to buy up dry food, whatever, cause it's a lot in the mortar to come. I like it. The mortar pestle. But here's the thing though. When we start looking at food and food security right now, family, you know, they put so much into everything except the farmers. Even this World Cup cricket, they put all into World Cup. They ain't put nothing into the farmers. Nothing. Good night to you too, Beverly. They put everything into tourism. They put everything into the roads. They put everything into cricket. Everything into everything. And the farmers catching hell. And Darware don't have a clue what's going on, man. If he does, he's clearly not aware that he's not aware. He's clearly not aware that he's not aware. I saw a house the other day, man, that tell me selling in Barbados. A house. A house. Listen to me carefully. A house for sale in Barbados in one of them communities. Anybody want to guess the price of the house? I mean, it's a modest looking house. Ain't nothing too, you know, ain't too. We at critical times now. Keith, they said they want $18 million for this house here in Barbados. I thought myself, okay, I'll take it. I'll take it. Yeah, literally. Serious, man. Somebody said the insurance is also going up. Seriously speaking, is this true? Is this true? The insurance going up? Greetings, family. Listen, they're asking Barbadians and Barbadians to be serious about what's going on, right? But let me tell you all something, right, family? Let me play another video. Hold on. Let me play the other video real quick. Cause this one here I want to play too. They asking us to be serious about what we're doing, right? Let me say this real quick. And Santia, I appreciate your passion with this one. But I want to make this clear real quick. Let me play this one real quick, family. Let me add this here too. It's the frequency that affects the mind of the people, whereby they can continue to manipulate people for their gains. They are the ones responsible for putting the lyrical content out there. It is us then who are responsible for what we do with that information. And my thing is, family, let's be mindful. You get it? Be mindful. Let your mind be full of the things you want to manifest, not the things you don't want. For what is to be will be. Make sure, like the virgins, you are prepared for whatever is to come. But in the meantime, watch this, man. Let me just say this real quick.
We believe that it is okay as a society not to say when a wrong has been committed to a child. And I want to talk about that, sir, because I believe that this is a deeper issue in our society where people do not want to bell the cat.
I agree.
Where people do not want to tell on somebody, or as the young people say, nobody don't want to snitch, sir. Well, I want to say to this country that not snitching, not reporting, not telling the truth is costing our society the lives and of a future generation. Because whether it is a young man that I go to bury today, who people know are responsible for his death, but nobody don't want to say nothing. They don't want to say nothing because they don't study. It could be their children. It could be their grandparent. It could be them. They are so caught up on not snitching. They are so caught up on that stitch. You get stitches for snitching. That's what the music tells us, sir, in case the adults don't realize what is going on. And unless we have a serious conversation with our people, our parents, or leaders within communities or churches, that you must call a spade and tell people when they are right and you must tell people when they are wrong, sir, we are going to continue to preside over the decay of our society. I tell my constituents straight, do not call me. If you know that your child is involved in activities and you are encouraging it, I have taken a hardline position on this, sir, because I have buried more young men than any of my colleagues in this country. I have gone to more funerals and laid to rest young men who a system would have known that these young people were creating problems over the years, sir, that the families were struggling, that the children were getting interfered with. And nobody has done nothing, or if they did something, it was not enough, sir.
This kind of touched me, family. Santa, I ain't gonna front, it kind of touched me in more ways than one. And I know that you're serious because I know that you preside over the Pine area specifically. What you're saying, that you've been to more funerals and whatnot, bury more young men, you know, understand that this is your constituency. So if you're admitting that during your time there and while you were there, that you have buried more young men, this is under your watch, though, Santia. It don't look good. In fact, if it is that things are happening and these young children were vulnerable, in fact, shout out to Biak, by the way, because we saved a lot of young people in the Pine, quite frankly, a lot of them. And I give thanks to all those who was part of the program that was able to come and receive the goodness of the program while we had the opportunity to do the program, in spite of the fact that those who said it was going to help never came and helped. They came and eat, though. The breakfast is good, boy. It tastes good. We all doing a good thing here for these children, man. I can make sure to put all these resources behind you. Not even a slice of bread, but I ain't gonna call names this time because this is the point. I ain't calling names this time. This is the point. The point I want to make is that I agree. We have a society that have certain rules and regulations on every level. And as far as whether the children were in trouble or getting into trouble or living a certain behavior because of other issues that happen, there's a lot of possibility. And I agree with you, Santi. In the reality that, or the reality of that is the adults in setting the example, the politicians in setting the example, the police in setting the example, the teachers are setting the examples. So if you were asking the children of Barbados and the youth to, quote unquote, snitch. When the street got codes and rules, well, in reality, politicians are going to tell when they see politicians doing wrong too. But there's a cyber crime bill that say you got to be careful how you say it, because, you know, if you say it, even though it's true, you could get locked up. Santi, you need to study what you're saying, because what you're saying, I know, ain't really adding up a bit, because how you going to ask the children to tell the truth on one another, but the adults can't tell the truth on one another for fear of being locked up, for snitching, quote unquote. So if you tell the truth, you're going to be penalized. Is the bill y'all, is what y'all established as a bill for Barbados. If you tell the truth, you stand the possibility on the Marcia. If Marcia get there and talk about me and say something that's truthful, you can send Marcia letters and lock up Marcia, lock up Kimar for speaking the truth. If I get here and say what it is, they can send me a letter and lock me up. Make it make sense, man. We want the youth to live a certain way, but we the adults, and you got police that know police doing bare foolishness, not a word. You got nurses that live, you got nurses in the hospital that watch other nurses torture or elderly people in the hospital for different reasons, not understanding the psychology, but the psychological state they might be in, but physically abusing them, man. And don't nobody say nothing. You got doctors that what doctors kill patients by making mistakes because they're too tired, or they're sniffing, or they're smoking, or they're other on some other form of drug. And they don't say nothing. You got firemen. You got firemen. What if firemen make mistakes and causing injury, harm, and don't say nothing? You got politicians committing all types of crime with their colleagues. By the way, most of the politicians committing crime might be lawyers. So lawyers watching lawyers commit crime, and the lawyers in saying a word. So I agree with you, Santia. We're going to continue to watch the decline of our society, not because of the young people that you spoke on, because the young people are inheriting the sins of their father and their father's father. So the adults got to fix the issue first. We got to fix it first. We asking them to do what is not put on them to do. They inherit the problem. That's how they display the outcome of it. We got to fix it at this level. We got to fix it at this level, not the level of the youths, man. So I feel your pain, Santa, and I know you bury a lot, and I feel your pain. Don't get me wrong, the mothers, I know you went through it. But it don't look good to say that you did so much burials while you was in the office, because if you the minister for the pain, you can't control the pain. I just saying. If you can't control the pain that kind of way, put somebody in place who control it then. I mean, for the love of the pain. In fact, I remember the pain used to come in academic hall, the whole pain, with nothing but love going on. I remember the pain used to come in academic dance hall with love, man. Armageddon, shout to Armageddon for life, man. For life, for life. And fellowship on the one accord. I also remember the police come and disrupt that and try their best to disband that and scatter that, because that was too much unity. I remember when the pain was coming together on the one accord. I remember that. In fact, I remember when, yeah, family. Barbados and Barbadians, all I'm going to say, right, is that the brother said it. The frequency changes everything. We got to pay attention, man. We got to pay attention, family. That's all they say, man. We got to pay attention. They say the cost of electricity will go up by design to make everything else go up. Of course, because once electricity going up, the food got to go up, because the market paying more for storage, for lights. So understand, it's a whole conspiracy. They got to destabilize the country and force the people to want to riot just so they could justify what they got planned and what they're training for. I mean, they're training for it. They said they might try and put the GG president in charge. Oh, man. Yes, coalition exists in Cayman Islands. But you know why the coalition exists in Cayman Islands? Because Cayman Islands, the people that control the money don't want the politicians involved no more. They had enough of them too. They try too much to extort the people. So let the money flow, man. Need to have some kerosene pots in case you have to cook on a wood fire. Serious, right, family? Think about this thing carefully. Think about this thing carefully. If you wasn't eating meat, you may not got to cook no food. You know what I mean? You can roast the vegetables. Well, not just the vegetables. Let me phrase that. The ground food can roast. If you know how. All right. You can roast the fish if you're eating fish. All right. Learn to build ovens, family. So you're saying that Ralph Torn was placed there? You mean in the DLP? I ain't saying he was placed in the DLP. What I would say, he was placed in the lap of the loyal opposition. He was placed there, that's for sure. He might have crossed the floor to become the opposition in parliament, but as far as the leader of the people opposition, well, he was definitely placed there. Ralph did not earn that position. He was slotted in without question. My thing is, that's an error. Coming out to me in Monty Camp, are you mad? You can't tell me she's a brilliant strategist and she's a brilliant woman, and you see that move and y'all don't realize that could be her one of her moves. I mean, look, man. Let me go over this thing here, man, because I didn't plan this. What time is it? Damn, I gotta roll. I didn't plan to be on air too long tonight. I didn't plan it at all. That wasn't the plan. My holiday, it's supposed to be the Whitsun type thing. Everybody got the religious thing going on and party, whatever else. They don't want Bajans coming home and start to vote that no of the frauds. They only want the BLP. The only way the BLP can win is by love. Hold on, wait. The only way the BLP can win is by love. The program is not designed to give any seats away, so it will always be by love. Arius Blood, I don't get this one. Explain this to me a little bit more, though. It's by love. I don't know if the people love them like that, though. I don't know. Greetings, family. We see you. How the Barbados allow all those GMOs and inspected imported foods into the island just because the ICC is holding cricket? Listen, if they were really planning this thing ahead of time, they would have. Let me tell you something, my brother. And thank you for bringing up, Noel. They knew what they were doing. They could have gone to the farmers. Listen, we're gonna need some 6-week crops because that's the only thing we could do. You got 6 weeks to plan for this. You got 6 weeks to plan for this thing. All farmers who are willing, come. Contact Emmanuel. I heard he got some water tanks for the farmers. You can get a water tank. We even can fill it with water for you. We could get water. If you live in an area that don't have no water, we get you a tank of water. No problem. The show politically incorrect. Also, come and collect some seeds. We want some 6-week crop. We're gonna need X amount of lettuce. We're gonna need X amount of okra. We're gonna need X amount of beets. We're gonna need X amount of peppers. We're gonna need X amount of kale. We're gonna need X amount of what else? Help me here, family. What else we need? Tomatoes. Well, people gonna eat. So the farmers could have had a chance into. We got some tractors here. Call them when you want the plow. Let me arrange it, get the thing going. Come, let me help the farmers in Barbados be able to supply some of the food for hotels. In fact, we're gonna create a database where we gonna know which hotels need what. We can have it managed by an independent company called the Pharmacy Fruit and Veg. They're gonna oversee everything, and we're gonna go from there. So the farmers will know that, okay, well, you can grow some crop quick, fast, and then deal with it accordingly. Or we could import it. I mean, we could import it through a local distributor that are already distributing stuff, or we could, do the friend quick, go and register a business. I gotta bring in 1 million lettuce heads. You could break through company, I would pay you, and you could, you know how we do the thing. You know how we do. He said they're moving the people to put Ross. I don't know. I don't know. The problem I have with Barbados politicians is they just don't care about the citizens of Barbados. What a shame. Of course, them planet, man. Everything is programmed. We don't make guns, them send the guns in to start to start problems, so we don't focus on the crooks in office. Serious. We have most oil in the Caribbean and the second most in the world, Barbados. Barbados sitting on top of oil. They can't tell Barbados that, though, Barbadians. I mean, there's oil wells in St. Philip. So Barbados is sitting on oil. They claim it's not sufficient oil, which is funny because I'm just saying, man. I don't know. Maybe we'll see. They are keeping us here as slaves and being paid not to drill. Serious. Light and power is criminals. Why are Barbados so many international banks in such a why are Barbados so many international banks in such a small country? You know why? Well, Nana of the Maroon taught me to use a sword. Be clear. You're so right about that allowance. A man cussed me out when I told him the people of Cuba are living. Man, they're doing, but see, Cuba would have been better off if not for the embargoes. We gotta speak facts. Because the truth is, Cuba got its little roughness too, and things ain't going so good right now. In fact, the banks I told y'all that closed down, that I had, pardon me, no more money, was Cuba. It was Cuba that the document came from. No, I have not done the research on it as yet. That's why I didn't post it, but I'll do some more research on it to verify if this is actually so. But I was told that the folks went to Cuba recently and the money was missing. But again, Guantanamo Bay, Cuba has been marginalized for decades, man. So we can't say that it's Cuba's fault. Cuba would have strived differently. It's just the leadership, it's leadership. It is leadership. I saw a video once where the man talked about Dubai flourishing. We all know that. And Nigeria in poverty, which in Nigeria has more oil than Dubai. Nigeria has been in the oil game longer than Dubai. Yet Nigeria and Nigerians don't got what they should have the way Dubai is flourishing. Why is that? Leadership. Greetings, family. Shalom, shalom. If we could sustain ourselves in World War II, then the potential is there. We just need organized effectively. Listen, family, we good, man. Shout out to Fade, by the way. Shout out to Barbados National Congress, the People's National Congress. Remember that, family. I keep telling you, tell a friend to tell a friend, man. That's what they're afraid of, and we know it. But it is that time here. It is that time. Sharon said, found it hard to get on your page tonight. Yeah, well, I find it hard sometimes too. So welcome to the club. They be banning me from my own platform. They be kicking me off my own live while I on a live. I'm like, how y'all do that? Like, for real. Anyhow, that was the other thing I wanted to share, because Santi, I agree, we got to do better as a society, but it got to start with the leaders. It got to start with the leaders, man. Y'all can't tell me that y'all know everything is right. Right now, you got people, look, I saw an article on the Nation. Let me show how you can't even trust the news anymore. I ain't going to say a word. In fact, I ain't going to say it. 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 It said, remember, we as a people have been dumbed down for a century, never knew our true divine capabilities. Well, you know what? I agree. But it's time to fix that, man. She said, how much? 365,000 pounds? Wait, 1,000 pounds of what? That letters you talking about? Could I have enough letters for truth? Yeah. Real thing. I gonna say this, man. I came across an article on Barbados on the Nation Online. I came across an article on Nation Online I got from my sister. By the way, shout out to Empress, by the way, that spoke about a certain company taking a certain product that was created a certain 3 years ago for a certain thing, admitting that that certain thing that was created to fight the certain thing was somehow taken down because they realized it could potentially cause some, you know, coagulating, that's the word. It could say so, something so. I choosing and filtering. Nevertheless, so I go on the Nation Online newspaper, click on the link to go and find this article because I want to read it. I can't even believe they actually post that on their site. So I go and I click it, only to find out that they have since taken it down. You imagine that? Now I show you the information from the website of the same company direct, where they said that themselves. It's in court documents, direct right now. And the YouTubes or the Facebooks and the people who press report and still snitch on truth, they still taking down the truth, although it is out there in plain sight for the world to see. They still talking about violating community standards when this thing is out. Family, we're living in a Truman Show here. This cannot be real. Cannot be real, man. Cannot be real. I trying to catch up to these comments, man. There's just way too many. I can't even. It says society is a true reflection of the government and its leadership. Facts. You have business owners bringing in on inspections, GMO foods in Barbados, and customers are not seeing these things coming in. Man, GMO food, man. They say when light bill goes up, more VAT, that they collect more money all around. Man, poor judgment by the DLP leaders to let their rat in their party. I don't think they had a choice. Don't forget, there were others who were co-conspirators in this thing as well. They want their hand on the checkbook, man. They want their hand on the checkbook, man. Exactly, Emmanuel. They want their hand on the checkbook. Wait, Winston Clark in the building. Walaikum assalam, bro. Walaikum assalam. These foods are created by bioengineering. Look, let me say this when it comes to this bioengineering and the GMOs. Sean, let me say this real clear, man. I keep saying, right, family, we got to stop asking them to do for us what we could do for ourselves. Shout out to Fade Agriculture Council and the 35 Acre Project. We planting food, family. That's what Fade doing. Barbados National Congress, planting food. I'm going to say this to you. If you are part of a church group, you are part of a PTA, you part of a lodge, you part of a mosque, whatever you are part of. If you all are not, as the men, this is a message for the men. This is for the men. If you're not planting food to feed your family, where you plan to get the food from? Because the brother said the bioengineering food. Y'all listen to Fred Corbin voice notes. I mean, I get them all the time. I may not listen to all. I would admit that. I will admit that. But Fred be on point with most of what he's saying. I don't know if I subscribe to everything he says. Perhaps we can have a one-on-one conversation and maybe I have a better understanding. But what I'm saying is that the food is poison, family. I mean, we Ben knew that. Let me not pretend that we don't know. Support your local farmer. You're buying stuff, support your local farmer. I mean, you go to buy fish, make sure it's fish that caught in Barbados or at least the Caribbean. All that imported fish, ask a question. What is the origin of this fish? Well, this is imported from where? Norway. From where? Nowhere? I don't want fish from nowhere. I want fish from right here. You understand me, family? Support your own. Support the fishermen, man. Get them decent value for the money, decent money for the fish, man. Dollar value, man. Stop buying all this, man. Look, show it to FED again, family. Barbados National Congress, man. Show it to the Ethiopian World Federation too while we at it. Show it to RPM too. Show it to the Mamba Bongolites, man. Real thing. RPM, that's what's up. The lab grown stuff is already here, being here for a while. We know this. We know this, but then again, towards local farmers, let me start doing everything, family. They say the oil dirty, so they have to import it. This is true. The oil is crude. I've spoken to the oil. I've actually spoken to them once. I think they said they produce 400 barrels a day in Barbados, if I'm not mistaken. But again, the oil company is privately owned part government. So the private part, they tell you certain things. You can call and ask questions. They will not tell you. Although the partner's government should tell you, because we are the government of the people. We, the people are the government. But it's also partly private. So they send it to Trinidad to get it refined. Then they import it back. Whatever they do, they do. I just can't. I know we don't have an oil refinery in Barbados. So Godspeed is what's missing from the mines. Jason, I'm going to have to agree with you, man. You know what I'm saying? God, that divine presence of self. That's why I tell people, rather than focus on everything the government is doing, I'm not saying be oblivious and be unaware. I'm saying that let us focus on consciousness and recognizing our divine power and the ability to change the environment through our own consciousness. Where 2 and 3 are gathered, there am I in the mix. We're supposed to be a Christian society. And I can't understand for the life of me why these Christians so fearful of the government. I don't get it. When they should be growing up back in the days, man, they had this thing called prayer warriors. And they would sit in prayer and things would happen, family. Where the prayer warriors now? Where the effectual fervent prayer of a righteous man, just one, is sufficient. So imagine 2 and 3 gathering. We debating with politicians, talking to politicians, siding with politicians against politicians. But you trying to side. It's like the hens trying to negotiate with a fox to guard the hen house against the foxes. It's like the hen house trying to negotiate with a fox to guard the hen house against the fox outside. You know, I just can't. Oh man. Oil don't ever stop being created, and energy should be free. I agree, Keith. I tell you, Barbadians would not have to pay for no light bill and no water bill. Overusage would be self-explanatory, obviously. But if every home has the means of harvesting their own water efficiently, then there you go. So the government can then focus on harvesting it collectively in case of emergency. So I don't have to worry about running a bunch of pipes here, there, and everywhere. Man, you know, I just have a different vision for Barbados, and maybe it's just all in my head. So Barbados have one of the best sweet crude oil south of the island. Noel, like, you know, Noel, we're gonna have to talk for real, man. Real thing. Fig and rotten food will be here to stay. Y'all remember the 1 million eggs they said they brought in? Whatever happened to 1 million eggs? You think Barbados consume 1 million eggs by now? I just asking for a friend. Look, man, what time is it? Look, family, I can't keep up with y'all. Y'all been too much for me, man. Let me see. I can't keep up. Hey, guards, it's all started here. Will end here, fam. Why you think the Concorde is still in BIM? All that and this tech is from our godly minds. The earth created oil all the time by the earth energy. And we sitting on top of a whole tectonic plate, Barbados, all by ourselves. All by ourselves. See, all the other islands was formed out of volcano. Barbados is the only coral island outside of Tobago. Well, coral grows underwater, which means that something is pushed. We're sitting on top of a tectonic plate. You better pay attention. The fault line is the Caribbean islands. Barbados is not on the fault line. Barbados is on top of the tectonic plate. We need to study this thing here, family, or we get catapulted out of space. Let me stop, man. Family, Barbados has the best of everything, man. I ain't just saying that. Barbados, that's a beautiful place, man. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. And the people are even more beautiful. I mean, Barbadians are some of the most beautiful people in the world. They try to say that we're too passive, and that we're too passive. Is that we know we can get real ugly, but we don't want to get ugly. We want the betterment for the nation, for everybody. One Barbados. This isn't a white Bajan, black Bajan thing. This isn't an Indian, Chinese thing. This is a thing where you got to respect the fact if you come in here, whether you Indian, whether you Chinese or otherwise, that there are people whose ancestors bled for this land. And for you to come here and write a check for a house for $18 million and feel that you own part of this rock, man, you got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. And anybody telling you that is just a delusional, man. He said, when the people start up, it's going to be ugly. You know what? The people don't got to start up. All the people got to do, right, is get to know the self. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but you can free ourselves, our mind. Have no fear for atomic energy. None of them can stop the tide. None of them can stop it, man. We got to stop standing and watching, man. We got to get involved. Get involved how? By becoming aware of who you are. Know yourself, man. See your own divinity. He said all of us need to not pay bills and boycott all these corporations. Serious. The churches gone silence on the social society in Barbados. Well, Noel, the churches are under what is called I don't know if they register in Barbados as charities, but because of their status, they really got to do the bidding for the government. Churches aren't independent. They're not. At least not the ones that are registered under the government. Their job is to do the same thing they did during the plantation days. Make you comfortable while you in hell and hope for heaven with your suffering on the plantation. But never get you to the point where you want to fight for your freedom. Said Piles Bears, where I get my pot fish. I just finished eating some. You is something else, no. Like you, how you get pot fish all the way in Massachusetts? You too much. I mean, they are changing the labeling of the food so people won't know it's GMO. Sean, I would hate to think they're doing that, man. Like I would hate to think that wow, Barbados was very respectful, religious country. Today, the churches are still awaiting their Jesus. Well, you know, let them do so. You need to revisit your episode featuring Apostle Canterbury when he spoke about the oil production and why it was shut down. Listen, shout out to Canterbury. Isis, you remember that program, no? Unbelievable. In fact, family, if y'all have not seen Politically Incorrect, this is your first time coming in. There's hundreds of episodes, hundreds. You got to go and catch up. Know how y'all binge watch the episodes on Netflix? You got to go and binge watch Politically Incorrect. Facts, man. Emmanuel, you're the best truth speaker in the Caribbean. We need more people listening to your program. Noel, do not say that. I am definitely not the best truth speaker. There are a lot of people speaking truth in the region. I am more than willing to introduce you to a few. A lot of them have been on this platform, including myself. So yes, I give thanks, my brother. But a lot of people come on here speaking truth. And I can tell you something else. I learned a lot of the truth that I'm speaking from people who watching. I got this thing called the inbox crew. The inbox crew just keep me updated, man. They look so a lot of unseen heroes. A lot of unseen heroes, man, that work in certain positions in the government and the private sector that be sharing information. And when we check it, be credible. In fact, I got some more today. If I could only say, boy, this is the time for that program. But it goes back to a certain house we were discussing a few weeks ago. Look, listen. So I gotta protect my fact finders, man. If you give me the, you know how the journalist is gotta protect the source. I gotta protect my sources too. But truth is, I'm just the voice, man. A lot of people be whispering in my ear, and I give thanks for all those who tune in and are part of this program, both locally, regionally, and internationally, that keep me abreast of what's going on, man. You know what I'm saying? Real thing. I'm learning so much tonight. Beverly, we give thanks for you. I hope that you're feeling good, as always. As always. I hope they're really not changing the labels, Sean. But man, y'all, I gotta have to check a little better because this is crazy. Churches are tax free. Well, that's why they're tax free, because they're working for the government. No, I said I am still catching up on your old programs. Give me their details. I will follow. But you know what? I be working on something coming up soon. In fact, I gonna say it, man. We be working on an office because we have some young people who have some technical skills that telling me they want to put up some reels and stuff and take clips on different programs. And so we're gonna need some equipment. We can look to get some laptops coming up soon and some equipment for our young people to do this work. And so that's just a reality. So I can't do it on my own. I've been doing it on my own. I've been juggling this entire thing for years, single-handedly. I give thanks to those who behind the scene that do all the work with the what do you call it, the thumbnails, the technical stuff, the logistics, even those who helped me build the system. And I mean, I can't, like I said, we in this together, Noel. So we gotta finance each other. Somebody asked me, why don't I monetize my page to get paid for this? I have never really thought about it. I have other ideas for that, but I'm saying the people's support is what makes this possible. So if you're inclined to support. If not, that's all good. The Almighty does provide for his people. Real thing. The birds eat every day, family. They must find a worm. So what for us we get, man. Simple as that. They say, watch out, Big Pen. Show it to Big Pen, man. The whole family, watch out for things that say new and improved. Watch out for things that say export only also here. Keep an eye on those. Once it say export only, keep an eye out for that. Anyhow, family, my first program was politically incorrect. Nearly 2 years. Wow. Beverly, it's been that long, Beverly. We thank you, Beverly. You've been a loyal supporter. We give thanks, man, all day, every day. I just protect my sources because some go missing. It's true. Shout out to the brother, man, Trotman. You know what I mean? The shout out to Trotman, man. Douglas Trotman. Real thing. Anyhow, family, nothing to doubt that they would change the labeling because they need us to eat their poison. Crazy. Wait. I saw it on TV8. The relabeling is goods. Relabeling of goods. You serious, big man? Send me a link. Send me a link. I can't believe this, family. Look, family, like I said, take time to know yourself, get in tune with your divine consciousness, and love your neighbor. Start building back the family, having meetings at home. Let us focus on strengthening family. They can only defeat us if we are divided. No matter what they come with, once we are together and we strategize and organize, centralize and mobilize, we good. Watch how the animals is hunting the wild. The pack don't get attacked. It's the stragglers or those on the side, the weak ones. Let's strengthen ourselves. Let's build each other rather than tear down each other. Let's build. If amongst us needs strengthening, let's strengthen it, especially as men. Stop being so emotional. I said what I said when I said what I said when I said it. Deal with it. Facts is facts. Shout out to June Goddard, by the way. June, they love you. They said they want you back on the program. We give thanks for you. Shout out to your brother as well. We're making it happen, man. He said, one day we must hold a show for funding more equipment to see who's really honest and supporting members. I in and ready. Wait. Noel, you talking big shot talk here. That's that. You know what? That's that me and Marty talk. Give me the wheel and watch, man. We love it. We love it. We love it. Listen, family. It's about the work. And Noel is right. He's absolutely right. Now you're gonna call a spade because in reality, not everybody want to be on the front line. But you see those on the front line, you got to support them, family. I can tell you straight, you got to support your freedom fighters because the system going to make it hard for them to live by blocking certain channels, by stopping certain avenues, disconnecting this, disconnecting that, and make it difficult for them to earn an honest dollar. You can't do both. This is a full-time job, man. It's a duty. This is a duty, so it don't get to be optional. But we're going to make it happen, man. Like I said, the universe provides. Folks inclined will do, who can do this. You know, the widow's mite goes a long way. It's the faithful. It's those who faithful. We give thanks for them. Anyhow, family, we going to roll out of here tonight. Beverly said, like what Noel said. Beverly, you would like that for sure. For sure, Beverly. We give thanks, Beverly, for all those who definitely contribute to make it happen, man. And I thank those who have done so in the past. Because, yes, people do that. People have done that. And we give thanks for them as well. So, yeah, that's what's up, family. Anyhow, I gonna make a move. I gonna make a dash. And we gonna make it happen. That's what's up. Like, share, and subscribe. Remember, politically incorrect. Tell a friend and tell a friend. Somebody asked me if I know where in the they said I'm back in Barbados in September. We need to hold a fundraising event to support the show. I got to plug you in to the what do you call it? What's the word? Give it to me. Planning committee. I heard you. Yes, I heard you. I heard you. We won, man. We heard. Yes, I got to plug you into the planning committee, Noel. I don't personally deal with those events, but again, shout out to Faye, the whole Faye family. Love y'all. Barbados National Congress. That's what's up. Stay tuned, family. We doing things here. We doing things. We doing what was never done before. We ain't trying to. We don't want to rush into your party. We don't want the party. We leave in Egypt straight up. We ain't sticking around. Y'all can keep Egypt. We out. We out. Isis, I need a tune. Isis, I need a tune. I need a tune, man. I ain't had a tune for the night. I didn't want to. Can you believe it, man? Targeting, practicing on faces like black people. You know these white folks, man. Listen. Nah, man. We ain't dealing with it. We're not dealing with it at all. Noel said might B&B rental, might B&B ready for short-term rental. Shout out to Dominica, Elder Asia coming in. Shout out to the whole Dominica. In fact, shout out to the Dominican family, Antigua, Lucian, St. Vincent, Grenadian, the family from Rima, big fraud from Rima. All right. The family from Trinidad, Guyana, and Suriname. I gotta do the Suriname thing, man. Let me get that tune for you, brother. Let me get the tune for you, man. I gotta kind of look for that tune now, you see? Let me get Rima, man. Let me get Rima. I wish they had a video to this one here, man, but they ain't got a video to it, but we can still play the audio, though. We can still play the audio. I know what's going on, family. I know what's going on, family. I know what's going on. Hold on, let me just set it right. Let me set it right, man. For those who might not know it, the sister right here, Jason Negard, Godspeed to you too, family. I don't know if where you from, Jason. In fact, if you're coming on for the first time, just post where you're from so we get an idea. I know the A guards are from St. Lucie. Well, to my knowledge, the first parish on top of the island that they divided, which was the Scottish that were here before. The Scots that were here before were in the north, and the Agars are a lot of original people, and the Agars, a big family. The only parish named after a woman in Barbados. Study that. Study that. Study that. Study that.
Done one step ahead of them. If them want make a better again, them a go fall like. Watch how we step when we walking. Lyrics them a menace, I feel leave blemish. Long time ready for the Gideon, yeah this. I call it Babylon, a ball in a crevice. We don't want nothing from Babylon.
Nothing.
No satisfied till flames take Vatican. Slave master vanish like magician. Him no ease up, he no dirty politician. Snakes in the grass where them waiting on. Said them a take orders from England. Just you never know we African. Can't take way out of the motherland. See them a get frightened when warriors are pass. If a righteousness we fuss in the class. Yeah, we keep pushing till all Babylon attach. Knees never buckle, yeah, them off is steadfast. Nothing sell on the black market.
Yes.
Everything white, them a say Christ go and check. Check in a Christ, them a them want it. Wipe out flat line wherever them step. Watch them a set another black target.
Yes.
Out of the belly of the beast start
Yes.
One trip we from them a go see the progress. Put to head no that catch a project. We don't want nothing from Babylon.
Want nothing.
Satisfied.
Nothing from Babylon, man. Nothing at all from Babylon. But here we're going on though. By special request, Brother Ants for it. So you know, I definitely got to give this one, man. I definitely. I can't let it out. I can't let it out. What you ought to realize that these tunes here, man, is original tunes. Most of y'all might only hear this first on this platform. Only on this platform.
We wanna fire on our system.
Beverly.
The people
Got another one for you, Beverly. A new tune.
make your promises and nothing still not change. Why you want the people them to be a slave? Psychology they use keep we in a cage. Politicians just criminals and a bigger sledge. Babylon your whole system gone down. We know the truth, not tell the people them to calm down. The poverty they and a rise, we see it all wrong. While your money climbing up, they sleeping and they hard from cause all the system is a big fraud. We know a big fraud. And every day they must start. And now we can't let down we can. Because the system is a big fraud. We know a big fraud. And a long time we are one. So now we sound the alarm. We come to mash and trample every old scheme. Latest on the news, it's just another smoke screen. Puppet on the string of where the people voting. Push the dirt under the table just to keep your nose clean. Meanwhile, the things you do is contradicting.
Contradiction.
Two side always sickening. To keep the sheep powerless, you keep insisting. A real lion heart would never be no victim. Because the system is a
big fraud.
We know a big fraud.
Big fraud, Beverly.
Every day they must start.
Don't let them trick you, man.
We can't let them win.
You can hire the fox to guard the fox.
Is a big fraud.
You can hire the fox to guard against the fox.
Big fraud. From a long time.
He needs to keep the fox up the hen house.
We sound the alarm. Wanna fire on your school too.
Yes.
Just another of the tools you use to further condition the youths. Living a serious time, we got to lace with boots. Because religion when they give them in a slavery.
Daffodil.
The slave them turn around, say them a slavery. Some people sell out like a hot bread in a bakery. Logically, heap a lie, make sure not bring in their me. Because the system is a big fraud. Yeah. We know a big fraud. And every day they must start. I know we can't let them we can. Because the system is a big fraud. We know the system. We know a big fraud.
Big fraud, Empress.
From a long time we are one.
See you, Alex.
I know we sound the alarm. You make your promises and nothing still no change. Why you want the people them to be a slave? Psychology they use keep we in a cage. Politicians just criminals on a bigger stage. Babylon, your whole system gone down. We know the truth, not tell the people them to calm down. Come poverty, they are not right, we see it all wrong. While your money climbing up, they sleeping and they hard work. Cause all we know the system is a big, big fraud. We know a big, big fraud. Cause every day they must start. I know we can't let them we can. Because the system.
Shout out to all the elders tuning in, man. Thanks to all my Christian and brothers and sisters. One love, family. One love, be dealing with family.
So now we sound the alarm.
Sound the alarm, man. Listen, sound the alarm, man. Pull that again. Let me pause it real quick, man. This is going to be what we're going on. Before I say anything yet, let me say this, man. I want you to realize that the people, right? This is one Barbados and then one Caribbean. All we have is us. We've always only had us. And it's time we not let the water divide us, but rather let the water unite us. Let us focus on being one nation under God. We ain't got to split hairs. They would like to have you, think that this is what it is. But it's funny because when God said to love your neighbor as yourself, and they said love your neighbor only if he's Christian, or love your neighbor only if you practice your religion. Just love your neighbor. Let God do God's work. So why your neighbor don't go to church with you? So what I mean, you can't love your neighbor? But I'm sure your neighbor might love you. So let's practice love, family. Let's practice love. Love for each other. Love for self consciously, your divinity. Therefore, you can see the divine source in somebody else. You feel me? Having said that, Haile Selassie first, Empress Wazir, man and family, y'all already know, man, the perfect balance. We're dealing with love, family. We know the system is a big fraud. Don't let these politicians get there and play us and divide us and it can emotionally tell you, and the government stole this amount of money, and this politician took this, and that politician took this and that. They have consistently done the same thing from the inception. We don't want to hear that. We already know. Everybody already know. How? Because the money scarce, it ain't stretching, and taxes up. It ain't trickle down economics we don't want. We want viable alternative solutions. Like I said, no light bill for Barbadians, no water bill. It is not unheard of. It's not even impossible. It's very possible. But they won't tell you that. Let me tell you so. Big frauds, man.
Yeah, we wanna fire on our system. Whoa. The people want real, no pretend. Make your promises and nothing still not change. Why you want the people them to be a slave? Psychology they use keep we in a cage. Politicians just criminals on a bigger stage. Babylon your whole system gone down. We know the truth, not tell the people them to calm down. The poverty they are not rise, we see it all wrong. While your money climbing up, they sleeping and they hard drunk. Cause all of the system is a big, big fraud. We know a big, big fraud. And every day they must start. I know we can't let them with yard. Because the system is a big, big fraud. We know a big, big fraud. And a long time we are one. So now we sound the alarm. We come to mash and trample every whole scheme. Latest on the news, it's just another smoke screen. Puppet on the string with the people voting. Push the dirt under the table just to keep your nose clean. Meanwhile, the things you do is contradicting. The way you play two sides always sickening. You keep the sheep powerless, you keep insisting. A real lion heart would never be no victim. Because the system